about in sports when somebody is, let's say they're my age, 30 years old, and all of a sudden they get faster, like I'm running personal best times, swimming personal best times. What if I wanted to debut internationally as a senior? So this video is talking through 2 ideas for competitions for athletes trying to make an international debut as a senior. So I'm going to define what each of those mean. And then, yeah. So there's 2 ideas. One is just kind of a broad senior competition format. And the second one is a broad senior competition format where senior means senior only. And there's no age bracketing. And then, so that's like the first one. And the second one is that plus a restorative justice component, which would be like excluding juniors so that they don't double or triple dip or steal spots. So that's the introduction. Let's get into definitions first. So the first definition is definition of a senior competitor. What is a senior competitor? So that is going to be someone 19 years of age or older who competes with their real age publicly at the time of competition. So, like if somebody's 30 years old and they say their age is 17 at the time of competition, they are not a senior competitor. They would be classified as a junior competitor because they chose a public junior age. Somebody who's younger than 19 years of age would also be a junior competitor. So in this definition, there's junior or senior, not junior and or senior. It's just junior or senior. And then junior could be the case where there's a mismatch in the person's actual age and the public age. And there's or publicized age or published age. And then there's also the junior type where they're younger than 19 years of age. And here, senior competitor is 19 years of age, as in the day of their birthday, the day they turn 19 years old or older. I'm using a birthday because as a person grows up and matures and is an adult, adults, part of survival, just basic survival and being human is, as a junior, people who are developing stuff might need everybody, whatever, however old you are at the end of the year, that's kind of a junior. That's not used here because that's not appropriate. To put it nicely, for someone who is an adult and has a family and then a competition goes, you should define yourselves well, like relative to our arbitrary date cutoffs because calendar systems change anyway. So just keep it defined in terms of the person because that's how life actually works for individuals. So it's a way of saying senior competitor here is defined in terms of taking into account the person is a person and that they matter. So 19 years of age per them, their birthday and older. Okay, so that's definition 1. Definition 2, definition of an international competition. So that's going to be a competition conducted at the regional, continental, and or world scale. So regional could be like a group of 5 or 10 countries, like around the Pacific Rim of the Pacific Ocean, so to speak. But they're on different continents. But if you have 5 to 10, that might be a regional competition. If it's open to countries on a continent, it could be like the South American competition kind of thing. That's a continental scale. And then world scale is people everywhere compete, can compete kind of thing, or come to one location and compete. So that's the second definition. Third definition of an international debut. So an international debut is competing in an international competition, which I just defined, for the first time. It's that simple. So competing at a regional, continental, or world scale competition for the first time. That's an international debut. Okay, so those are the definitions. Up next, description of current lack of competition offerings for people to debut as seniors in international sports. So currently, there's a bunch of kind of discrimination against people who are trying to make a debut later in life. People who've chosen the approach of like the most commonly way of phrase I've heard and encountered it is people who are real people who have chosen to have a real life get discriminated against and harassed and that kind of stuff because there is no offerings for senior onlys that exclude the people who have already spent, you know, by the time they're 24 years old, a decade in international competition, right? It's like, well, that's not fair, right? They were given special privileges, special competitions that excluded people like me in the first place. They were like, you're not allowed here. So what about the seniors, right? There are no senior-only non-age bracketed competitions. What does that mean? So there's some senior-only competitions where it's like, okay, if you're 30 to 34 years old, you can only compete against 30 to 34 years old, or your results will only be compared against the people who are 30 to 34 years old. They don't do that with juniors in international competition. What they do is say, everybody who's under 18, you compete against all of each other. Seniors have zero, at least I'm thinking like aquatic sports, track and field, stuff like that. There's nothing like that at the world level. There's no world senior championships. There are world junior championships. There are world championships open to all ages, or like, you know, 13 years old or older. And there's world junior championships, which is the 13-year-old or 14-year-old competes against the 18-year-old. But they're not age bracketed. And then for seniors, they have zero offerings. So extremely oppressed, extremely discriminated against group of people currently, especially those who are just trying to get their first competition under their belt. So with this lack of competition, how do we make competition so these people can be included when they might be more talented than any junior that's ever swam, or the fastest world records? They could come along and crush the 1 mile run by 2 minutes, a minute, 2 minutes. That kind of thing has happened over time, the dropping of the mile time by a minute. So it's not unheard of, and it's not unrealistic. And in fact, this is like a case to, are humans even, like, is adulthood even necessary if juniors are out there performing, like in speed sports, faster than seniors? Seniors should be performing faster if there is a reason for life? Or is there a reason for making that age? And natural talent tends to come with balance. So if we're only getting the people who like really over specialize really young and like only do swimming and that's their job, we're probably not seeing the fastest, and we're probably not seeing the natural talent. Because natural talent naturally comes with stability. Those are the kind of people that seek balance and that kind of thing. Okay, so idea one for a competition. This is a non-age bracketed senior competition, or competitions, open to seniors only, where all event participants compete together, such as and as such, a podium for like could consist of something like a 72-year-old gold medalist, a 25-year-old silver medalist, and a 37-year-old bronze medalist. Okay, it's non-discriminatory. We accept the reality of there's competitions open to everybody, competitions open only to juniors. Now we're going to take those same approaches and apply it to seniors. So a 19-year-old, a 64-year-old, and a 102-year-old could all be on the same podium, share the same podium. It's being inclusive as opposed to discriminatory. Okay, so it's pretty simple. It's literally just like, you get to compete, which is really cool. Like I was like, you know, like the people who were, I was on a master's team, which is age bracketed, seniors only competition. But I was like, but it'd be cool if we could all compete against each other, because I know I'm still slower than the person who's 15 years older than me, even as a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old. So there's it'd be cool to actually, it'd be embracing adulthood, and the fact that just because one just turned 18, or in this case just turned 19, doesn't mean one's the best of everybody, which is kind of cool, right? It's reality. It's consistent with reality, and especially like the workforce and that kind of thing. In some sports, there's, you know, like endurance runners and middle distance runners, like women get faster, like typically these days, 2023, like May 2023 as of filming this, women typically get faster at least to their 40s. Like 40s is a prime age. So it's there's a lot of cherry picking and rigged systems against people who are older and looking to internationally debut as a senior currently. So this is one idea. The next idea, second idea, and I'll wrap up, this one incorporates restorative justice. So it's the same structure as this idea I just talked through. Only people who competed in international competitions as juniors are not allowed to compete in order to prevent spot stealing and double dipping and triple dipping. So spot stealing is a junior comes along and is like, I want to compete at every competition. I'm 16 years old and I'm just that full of myself. So I want to compete in the senior only competition. They go, hey, this person's 30 years old. They've been waiting in line for 30 years. Or it's okay. So let's say it's a 15-year-old. 15-year-old comes along and is like, I want to compete in the senior competition. They go, no, honey, you double your age. This person's been waiting double your age to just compete. At some point you need to be cut off, right? It's spot stealing. So it's a way of saying, instead of letting, really temperamental, not matured, very juvenile people come along and be like, I just want anything I want. It's like, no, that's not how reality works. Sharing is part of reality. And it's necessary for survival, especially in certain contexts. And so instead of letting juniors steal spots, because a case could be made for that World Championships open to anybody, but maybe keeping those as open to anybody, but being like, since there's, if one only wants to watch adults compete, then World Championships currently allow for spot stealing by juniors. Okay, so it's taking that away and being like, no, we're making a safe space for adults and seniors, just like juniors have a safe space. As a teacher, I've experienced harassment from students and stuff like that. Just because somebody's young doesn't mean they're a good person or treat people with respect. All right. Okay, so it's accepting that reality. And then there's double and triple dipping, so preventing somebody from coming along and being like, I'm a junior, I'm going to compete in the World Junior Championships, the World Aquatics Championships, and the World Senior Championships. It goes, you're cut off. Since the World Aquatics Championships is open to everybody, and you get World Junior, you don't get World Senior. So then the World Seniors, in theory, could get World Senior Championships and World Aquatics Championships. So it prevents them from drastically overstepping their bounds and exploiting and overusing resources to the detriment of other human beings. It allows a chance and provides a chance, so doubly restricted entry, to be just like these other people, these juniors have a safe space and para swimmers have a safe space. We're going to make it so adults have a safe space. All right, that's kind of necessary in a world where everything is geared for get them while they're young. It's well, maybe let's accept that we want people to survive and thrive in adulthood. So keeping the people who have competed in those previous competitions out, especially in the case of people looking to debut internationally as a senior, because they don't have a single international competition. So somebody could come in that competed, has 10, 12 junior competitions under the belt and be like, I want to compete in a senior only competition, and everybody else is like, we're just trying to get our first one. It's like, no, honey, that's cheating. Straight up cheating. Get your shit out of here. This is for adults. This is about giving people equal opportunity and not harassing them and discriminating against them anymore. We're going to restoring justice. We're doing restorative justice and giving them the chance that they were deprived in the first place. So that's the second idea. So in conclusion, we need competitions if we're actually, as a planet, as a universe, looking to make international sports open to competitions for anybody at any age. We need new competitions with new structures that prevent spot stealing, double dipping, triple dipping, and kind of accepts that some people have, especially juniors of today, junior competitors, have been extraordinarily privileged in what they have received. And so there needs to be a restorative justice taken into account to neutralize and provide a safe space for adults to grow as well. If we're taking sports seriously. Happy note, happy day.